Hello and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending upon where in the world you are. It's 11 o'clock here at night, and it's 11 a.m. with Magdalena Raw Coconut Girl, and she's going to be joining me live from Hawaii. Hey, hello, Magdalena. Good to see you. We're going to have a really fun talk on the power and simplicity of fruity eating. Really excited to talk about this. Something that's near and dear to my heart. I like to keep it simple. I like to add variety. I like to do all of that, but fruity living is where it's at. Sweet and freaking juicy. Let's see if I can find Magdalena here, invite her in. She is new to the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle this time with her brand new book, Raw Vegan Hawaii Plant-Based Recipes. Really stoked to have her in here, and we're going to go into that and share a little bit about her book as well as about the bundle, which of course, if you guys are watching this, you probably know that this limited time promotion's on only until the 11th. Yeah, and it's only here once a year. It's like $1,850 worth of stuff for just $50. Let's see if I can find Magdalena and invite her in. That's very interesting. I cannot find her in this invite to join folder. If you can request Magdalena, then there we go. I waved at you. For some reason, I can't seem to grab you. Maybe out of the chat right now. Oh my, there we go. Perfect. Into this fun topic, lots of inspiration. I mean, geez Louise. Hey Magdalena, how's it going?
Hi!
Good to finally do this. Aloha! I'm trying to think, now my brain's scrambling. I'm like, how do I say that in svenska? And I know some Swedish, but not a lot. And I was like, yeah, the brain is still turning, it's trying to work. But aloha!
Aloha! How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting a little tired, but that's par for the course during the bundle week extravaganza.
Yes.
And I'm very, very happy. I just found my first live of the day. I thought I lost and didn't post. I thought it was gone forever, and it went so well. And I just found it about 10 minutes ago, so I loaded it up to my page, and I'm dancing around really happy because it's always fun to re-find things you thought you lost. How about yourself?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm feeling, I think, the same.
Yeah, you've been busy, hey?
We were busy. Yeah, we were busy launching this beautiful ebook, the bundle that we were working on, and it took a lot of patience, a lot of time and energy because that was
thank
really
you so much.
beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful project. It was really beautiful experience and very unique. And I need to tell you that this is my best actually collaboration that I ever had so far. Seriously, yeah. I love your energy, guys. I love, you're just like amazing.
Me too, you too. Absolutely feel the same way. And so blessed to have you a part, I think it's just so needed, right? Everyone coming together and, being stronger together and spreading that sweet, juicy vibe, right? Spreading that out and making the pie bigger.
Shredding your muscles at the same time.
Well, shredding the muscles, exactly. So, someone was just saying, let's just see, they're saying, isn't it hey in Svenska? Yeah, like hey. But aloha doesn't really mean hello. What does aloha mean? It does, but there's a deeper meaning to it.
It's funny because Hawaiian people use it all the time, just saying thank you, aloha, and saying I love you, aloha. Everything is aloha.
It is.
So So it's like one word that describes multiple things, and it's just like, okay, what did you just say to me?
Yeah.
It can be anything. So Hawaiian language is actually hard to learn, in my opinion, because it's like it's so hard to understand all the meanings. It's like, okay, what did you really mean?
Exactly.
Did you mean you want to eat, or you meant you want to do something else? I don't know. Let's say have similar meanings with something else. And it's kind of interesting to learn Hawaiian. But aloha, it's all about the spirit. It's all about made with aloha. Like I say, my recipes are made with aloha, which means with love, with chakras. So we have like all 7 chakras here, right? Opening that are like opening here. When you are here, you can feel the vibration and healing. In Hawaii. So it's like beautiful, beautiful experience, and all of that is like created, and the bundle is filled with all of that, and it's not only about my
No.
recipe book, but it's also about others' content that is amazing. And I was stoked just going through all of this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only raw vegan.
No, exactly. There's a lot of us, and we're raising this up together, right? And you know,
Yeah.
I love words like aloha, and it's kind of funny. It makes me think of, for example, like pura vida in Costa Rica, where they say that all the time too, which means pure life. But they
Yes.
say it as a hello and a goodbye and a good morning and like it's across so many things. But it actually made me think too of more like in the like in England and stuff when they say good morning. Sometimes it can mean like goodbye or like I'm done with you, but totally different energy than the Hawaiian or the Costa Rican, you know, like those ones. And I can so resonate with what you're saying about Hawaii too and the energy. I've never been in a place besides Hawaii that literally the first time I got there, like I when I got off the airplane, my heart center felt so open and I felt like home. Like
Right.
my heart literally said home as soon as I got there. It's
Yay.
crazy.
See, so you know what I'm saying. And what island
100%.
did you land on?
Oh, did you?
What
What
island?
happened?
What
Sorry.
island
Oh,
did
the first island I went to. Oh gosh, what was the first island? It might have been Honolulu, the first one. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because
Because I've been to Maui, I've been to Big Island, I've been to Honolulu, but those I haven't been to Kauai or no.
Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Yeah, each island has like its own unique energy that
yeah,
it's healing and
yeah.
potent. But you know, the most beautiful thing about it is like when you step, like I got to Maui, that was my first island that I ever landed on.
Yeah.
And I went to the lava rock, magma rock. It's like one place here that is very, it's like very um uh, unknown. It's kind of like it's very wild.
Yeah,
It's full of magma rock. There is
yeah.
nothing else but magma rock and trees and wild animals. And so I went there, and it's called La Perouse here. And I stepped
Bruce.
on these, like I was standing on these magma rocks, and I felt that energy going through my veins, like from the Mother's Earth, like
Yeah.
heart. And you felt that energy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is home. This is just like you said, that feeling of me being there. Oh my god, this is, I used to live here. Like I know I without me being here before, I already knew where everything is.
Yeah,
I'm like, how do I know all of that? How do I know where to go, how to drive and
yeah.
to get somewhere? I've never been
Imprinted
here
on your
before.
soul, right?
Yes, it
It's
was
the youngest
interesting.
places in the world. You know that it's the youngest place in the world. Did, have you ever read the book Hawaii?
Oh no, I haven't actually.
Honestly, you'd love it. It's amazing. It starts from a volcano exploding under the ocean. Like that's literally how the
Okay,
start of the book is. And it goes, it's a guy who he wrote, I can't remember his name, but if you just look the book up,
sure.
he's wrote a few books on a few different places, but they start like with the earliest known history, and Hawaii being the youngest island in the world. It starts with it bubbling up as a volcano, and it goes through the entire process of it, and it's like, and it's not just
Explode.
like super factual and like really intellectual. It's really fun story time written, you know, and it's like a beautiful book.
Wow. Oh, I would love to read it.
It's
I'm
cool.
excited now. Peace. All the peace in Hawaii. Uh,
Aloha.
Aloha. Yeah, aloha is a piece as well. So when someone is like mad or something here, which is rare because people
Yeah.
are usually very chillax, and it's just like you passing the road on a red light or something, or the chicken is just like, you know, crossing the the
Yeah.
road, and they're just like stopping. They're like, okay, you know, shaga. So
Hey.
aloha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aloha. Yeah,
yeah,
aloha, man.
yeah.
It's
If someone is like mad or something, I'm like, aloha, what's up? You know?
yeah, exactly.
So
Chill
it's
it
like
out, man. Aloha. You
it's
know,
yeah,
with
it's
with
like
those radio stations, it's impossible not to feel the aloha spirit too. Like every radio, well, not every, but most radio stations with like the most amazing music ever. You know?
yes, 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 yes. Yeah, very chillax.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
Oh.
like to call it, chillaxing. Everybody is so chillaxed, and you, you know, it's so funny because it's just amazing to experience. I went to Oahu a few times. I was in Hawaii. Yeah. I've never been to Big Island, and my friends are inviting me to see the Big Island because they have like fruit trees there, yeah, paradise, and come to the Big Island. So I need to visit that. But I need to tell you that the most drawn I felt was Maui and Oahu as well, and some places, because I started discovering more. But yeah, I'm excited to go back, and I've explored a bunch of them, and you know, I've lived literally in the banyan trees on Big Island with my hammock tent 40 feet up in the canopy. I have YouTube videos of me living in the trees in my hammock tent, and I was really lucky. Sorry? I need to watch it. It's amazing. They're really fun. It's called Living in a Banyan Tree in Hawaii. It's one of my YouTube videos of the Raw Advantage. But what did you feel about living there? What's the energy about the banyan trees? Just crazy, wild, expansive, and like at the same time grounding and just like awe-inspiring. It was so wild because I went there at night, and truthfully part of it was just, I was like, I didn't have a lot of money, you know, fruity dude traveling the world and trying to live off of a donation consult lifestyle, and I arrived there, and you know, like I'm cruising around in Hilo, and I went to the farmer's market, and truthfully, the prices were pretty expensive. If you don't know the farmer, sometimes it can be expensive, right? So I was mostly eating papayas and apple bananas, which are my favorite anyway. They're ridiculous. And that first night, I was just like, oh, like I was going to stay at a raw food farm, Keaniki, but I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But I started walking around Hilo, and it was late at night, and I was like thinking of getting a hotel, and I'm looking, I couldn't find one. It was like $100 and some bucks. I'm like, those banyan trees look great. And so I had my backpack, I had my little hammock tent, and it was raining a little bit, which kind of made it sketchy. And I think I might have had a freshly healed broken wrist or something, which has happened a few times. But I saw the biggest banyan tree in the park near the Hilo Farmers Market. Yeah. And I was just like drawn to it. And I was looking around, making sure that there was no one watching. So it's kind of dark, but I also didn't want to be seen like climbing in the tree in case someone follows me. And yeah, I just got down there, and it was luckily a little bit drier underneath because of the canopy. And I just started climbing, and it was crazy because those trees are huge. Like that's a city block tree pretty much, you know, and like at least 40 feet high or something, like 20 meters or 15 meters, right? And so I climbed up near the top, and those trees are so perfect, right? I've always had the dream of living in a banyan, and that's like just been a calling of mine. Yeah. And so I climbed up there, and I carefully set up my hammock tent, and it was already dark, and I just went to sleep. But then when I woke up in the morning, it was like, you know, starting to be bright, and it was like just so wild in there. And I climbed out of my hammock tent, and then was able to climb directly all the way to the top and poke my head through the top of the canopy and look across the entire top of the tree, and then out across all the fields in Hawaii, like that whole area right to the ocean. And I filmed all of it in the video. A lot of it's dark and stuff, but it's still pretty good. But that was way back. I was making those videos, I guess, I don't know, maybe a decade, 8 to 10 years ago. And I was filming, and I was filming with my iPod Nano. That's what it was. That was how I did all my video blogs in probably like 144p. But I used to film day in the life, basically like story reels for Instagram on my YouTube, like every other day. And that was one of them. Oh my, I have to watch it. Wow. That was so long time ago too. And you already were following the truth. Yeah, I feel very, very blessed to have been pointed and reminded, you know. Everyone would wish earlier, right? But it is all in its perfect time and place. That's beautiful. Wow. Wow, thank you for sharing that. That's impressive. You know, when you said banyan trees, there is like a big tree here on Maui. Yeah. Have you ever been to Maui? Yeah, I've been to Maui twice, and I'm going to interrupt you. I apologize. No, please. I'm wondering if it's the same place, because there is a beautiful giant banyan that's nearby the old fort with and I had my best meditation I've ever had under that tree. I sat down there with my parents, and I all of a sudden they tapped me, and I'm like what's up? And they're like, it's been like well over an hour, and I thought it had been like 5 minutes. And that's pretty much the only time I've really had that experience, was right under that banyan tree. Yeah, Wow, see, and it's so funny because I was about to say that. You know that I was about to say that, but you want to be first.
I'm sorry, you know, the Leo in me is just like trying to puff my mane up and get all big and puffy.
Yeah. Now I can see all that fur around, and your aura is just like exploding in gold. Hey, I that's what I was meaning behind the banyan tree. That banyan tree, I actually posted in my video stories recently as well. Every time I sit under this tree, it's crazy. That energy under the tree, and when you connect to that, it's kind of like it can be trippy when you like touch the core, the heart of the tree.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful with that also, right? To be specific, like about the energy, because there's energy exchange with the tree and emotions, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
It has so much hidden things in it, and it has like life in their like bloodstream, you know, that goes through their veins, like in a tree. It's just like so much energy, history, and connection. As it's wow. And you know, every time I am under that tree, I really want to have a good fruit under this tree, but I can't because there's so many homeless people there.
Yeah.
And this is the saddest part I want to actually bring up here, that having this lifestyle, being on this lifestyle, on the fruity lifestyle, doesn't mean that you need to live that way. There's so many people that eat this way, and I see there's one guy here on Maui that is basically looking at the fruit every day like this, looking at the sun, and he's staring in the sun and the fruit like this, sitting all day long.
It's mesmerized, just
all
loving it, just in love.
And he eats nothing but fruits. I always see him with fruits all day, and he's just like praising one fruit all day long. and I pass the road every time, and I see like he's like a statue, just staring at it. And I've been here for 4 years, and he's always staring at the fruit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what a high.
It's like, is he enlightened, or has he lost it, or is it a combination of both? And is one or the other, you know, different?
So see, here's the thing. I believe he just is tap into different dimension.
Yeah, yeah.
And I started discovering not a cuckoo man in this person, but higher dimension. Yeah. And of course, it's you know, but he doesn't need to live that way. That was his choice. Yeah. That's it's all like people here living without having the perspective of being homeless, living under that banyan tree, having that experience, and all of that. But it doesn't mean that it's just about us having fruits and not being able to experience life on the full level. With if it comes to finances, let's say, right, or things like this, we can grow and we can expand, and we can actually show the world that we as eating clean, we have even more to offer to the world, and we can invest even more, and we can bring more to the community and all the world by expanding. By expanding and showing how our brain works, because our brain like work on the highest level, right? Each and every one of us mind is sharper, and like, you know, you can get things together faster, like done together faster, like everything goes fast with us, right? Like we can we make fast decisions, quick decisions, and we don't overthink stuff. It's just like beautiful. Like, I mean, maybe I should speak about myself only, but I feel like there's so many of us that.
For sure, I think 1,000%. I mean, I think that this lifestyle, it connects us so much deeper with our own intuition and with source and with creation and with each other and with the animals, and like, you know, you can't help but raise your awareness when you're in this lifestyle. And I don't think it necessarily means that it makes you more. I think it just makes you more tapped in. You know, like. You know, it's like shedding off layers, so you're not just seeing through a buffer. You're clean and clear and connected, right? And
it's like unwrapping chopping an onion.
Yes.
And you have that ugly outside, let's say brownish skin that was like a little moisty and
shades and
yeah. We were crying just looking at it. And then and now you started like uncover yourself, taking all the diving deeper into your heart. And then you can see your higher self in a clear way, not blurry anymore. And you can tap into that existence of life and divine energy that goes through the cosmic energy. So you connect like me being fruitarian for the last 9 years now. Ooh, it's almost been 10 years. Like next year will be like a big celebration.
Yeah.
I'm throwing out a party.
I hope to come. That'd be fun. That'd be lots of fun. You're in the place for it too. Like Hawaii has some of the best fruit in the world, you know, some of the most amazing, energized, and just the energy there, all of it supports you so much. You know, it's kind of interesting too. We were talking about banyan trees. Did you know that the Buddha was said to have gained enlightenment by meditating under a banyan tree?
Yes.
So cool.
Yes.
Cool, right?
And I'm not surprised. It's how our hearts are. So coming back to banyan trees, actually, we had a beautiful experience in Oahu, being in Oahu around banyan trees. What the? Oh my goodness! What the heck that was? It was crazy. Did you see the shapes of people in these trees? I
can't say that I did, but
looking at these trees.
Yeah, I could imagine that. Absolutely.
I was like, oh my gosh, what this is about? Oh my gosh, I see a person here. Oh my gosh, I see more people. Oh my gosh, this shape. This was just so obvious. There were like, postures of people that are hidden in the tree.
Yeah.
Right?
I can imagine it, absolutely. They're some of the most magical trees I've ever been in. And you know, when you're talking about wanting to eat fruit under it, it made me think of something. Did you know that banyan trees are in the same family as fig trees? And I've had a lifelong desire to find out if you can actually graft fig trees figs onto a banyan, so you can have like figs growing in a banyan tree at the same time.
Yeah.
And I've talked to some fruit farmers, but I've never got no one's ever tried, as far as I know. But interesting.
Yeah. And you know, it's like when you were saying about meditation, I just would lay down under this tree and do nothing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel under this tree.
Yeah.
I'm like it's like an Avatar movie when they show that tree of life. That's the thing. That's the lotus petal tree. 100 lotus petal. It's wow. It's mind blowing, you know. And that energy flow is. I feel so safe, even though, and it's sacred. That place is very full of history, and it's hard to explain. I feel like it's a very out of this world tree. It's not created here. You know what I mean? It's
the oldest one on the island, is it not?
I believe so. Yeah. I believe so. I think we have also a mango tree that is as old as this tree.
Wow.
Here on the island, just one mango tree that is like this, and when everyone is protecting it in here in Hawaii, so it's funny. But we got some comments here. I think questions.
Says, if you've been fruitarian for a decade, it makes me wonder how old you are. I mean, that's up to you. Sometimes ladies never want to tell.
Oh, I don't mind it. I am 4,000 years old soul.
There we go.
In a 36 years young body on this planet.
There we go.
I am actually very proud of my age, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the number.
No.
Age is just created by humans.
Yeah.
And no. Yeah, it's funny because everybody is asking me for ID, and anywhere I go, they don't believe me that I am like, when I was at the DMV, you know, at the beginning when I moved here to change my a driving license into a Hawaiian one.
Oh, the best licenses. They're the coolest licenses with the rainbow.
This is the coolest. And yeah. And the license plates, wow, all the
Yeah.
So when they were like taking a picture of me, they were like, wait a minute, we have to repeat that picture. I'm like, why? Because you look too young.
That's a compliment. That's a
Yeah,
compliment.
when the policeman will stop you on the road, they will ask you for the double ID. You need double ID.
Yeah.
There was one prove your age, and they started to laugh there. So
The
it was
fingerprint you, do dental records.
Yeah. It's so you can reverse your biological clock. I always say that to everyone because I know how it works for me, and there are not many of us, unfortunately. But the people that I know that are on this lifestyle, it's just like there's something, I guess, that I do right about it, and I just love spreading the message. So if I do it right, why don't I just I can't be selfish?
No,
You know?
No. Yeah. Feeling this good is not meant to be done alone. You know, it's meant to be shared 110%. And yeah, Hawaii, oh man, it's kind of crazy. It's bringing up a lot of emotion and feeling because I'm just thinking about Hawaii and how much I do love it there.
And you should come.
I do want to sometime. Right now I'm in Sweden, of course, and I'm going through residency renewals and stuff. And for the next 3 years, I can only travel 6 weeks out of the year. And that gets eaten up very, very quickly, you know, going home to see family. And I want to do some festivals and retreats and also a little bit of my own kind of just skateboard travel and stuff like that, right? But I know definitely I will be back to Hawaii. There's no denying her call.
We should throw out the fruitarian party.
That'd be awesome.
Here. Yeah. And
I'd be 110. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And then you can put it on your list of the 6 week.
Someone here is asking, where do you come from originally, and why did you want to move to Hawaii?
Originally, I come from the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born there. Then
yes.
I was
of mystery and mirth.
Then I picked Poland to be born in.
Yeah.
Raised the most beautiful, gorgeous mom I could ever imagine gave me a birth, she brought me to this world, and I actually was raised there. And why Hawaii? How? Well, since I was a little girl, I was always drawing Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I didn't have internet back then. I didn't have access to any social media back then. It was like 80s, and early 90s. There was no internet. We didn't have cell phones, nothing. So all I did was painting, drawing, art, making art, and having fun. And everything I was drawing were eyes. Like, so iridology. Now I'm iridologist.
Yeah.
Crazy about eyes. I was crazy about eyes. So yes, and Hawaii, everywhere. And I'm like, Mom, this is a place where I'm gonna live. And my mom, okay, you're gonna live there. I know. And everybody else was laughing. And I always like, oh, you're over dreaming, Magdalena. You're always in that dream world.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, this place exists, I'm telling you. And I painted and draw so many places. And then once I got to Maui, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly how I drew it. Yeah.
It was already imprinted on your heart, and it just found you, and then you found it.
Yeah. Like that was already. So this is like with the people say the law of attraction, right? But everything is created already for us. It's already there. It's created. But we are climbing, in my opinion, a humble opinion, we are climbing into this different dimension. So you are unable to see your future yet, but it's already there. Yeah. It's not like you're creating your future because it's there, but you are climbing and you are uncovering these layers to see more. And it's up to you if you pick the right door. So I always enter the open door, only the doors that are open.
Nice. That's beautiful. It makes me think of of what's his name, Doctor Who, and he talks about the timey-wimey, how time is like it doesn't exist, right? It's just our awareness taking moments through like a journey through what is already there, basically. But I'm not really saying it well, but yeah.
And Chris, and look at this way: when we are like, one day we all will be gone from this planet, and where we are going to, we are not taking anything with us.
No.
We are going there naked. We are going there barefoot.
Yeah.
Not even barefoot, because we're gonna be like an energy.
Yeah.
What we are taking is our heart, like our soul, our spirit, and our spirit is about the growth. It's about the banyan trees.
Yeah.
It's about the energy that we bring an awareness through into our bodies with the food that we eat. Mm-hmm. So we feed our temple, we feed our chakras, we expand and clearing up all the system in our bodies, and we are allowing to that clean energy to pass through.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm curious, out there in Hawaii, you've been there, you said, for about 4 years. What are some of your absolute favorite fruits and foods in Hawaii?
Durian!
Durian's pretty phenomenal. I've only had a little bit of durian in Hawaii. Not a lot, but a little bit, but it was very good. Do you, like, how often do you get durian?
So, I can have durian pretty often.
Yeah.
But I don't feel good after having this so often, because it's pretty fat fruit. Fatty fruit. And it's pretty heavy and dense. Yeah. So when I have it, I was on durian feast for 2 months in a row last year.
How often? Like every single day? Like not every? Was it just mono durian for 2 months?
Mono milling on durian.
Wow. And I only know one other friend who's done that before, but I think he did a month, not 2. That's a long time.
2 months. I did, like, I was crazy. I was buying frozen durian. If I couldn't get a fresh one, frozen. And I was ordering from Lindsay, if I couldn't get any durian from Maui, I was just like, no, I need durian. I need it. I craved it. So I was eating it all the time. Yeah. And I felt incredible, but then I felt like an elephant.
little bit of swelling going on, or did you just get a little bit overweight, or?
Yeah, so it's so funny because I've never gained weight just like that. It was just always stable, and it's just actually stabilized itself after I've detoxed and healed all the weakness that I had in my body. But I felt heavier, and I feel that was more about swelling. Yeah. It's not about, I think, gaining weight.
Yeah, maybe water retention and swelling.
Yes, because it doesn't have water in it.
No, yeah, it's pretty dense, and it's heating to the body because it isn't rich in water, and also the sulfur content is pretty high, which maybe plays a component in it. I'm not 100% sure, but
you're right. Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah. And then you feel a little bit heavier, and I felt sluggish.
Yeah. So
I eat
blood got thick. You're a thick coconut blood girl.
No blood flow. I was like, what the heck? My blood is like a glue. So thick.
You weren't a couch potato. You were a couch durian.
Yes. That's how I felt. I was like, oh, I need a nap. Oh, I feel high.
Aloha, I'm going to watch Netflix now.
I was like this man looking at the lemon or an apple, and I was just staring at this durian. Oh, I'm going to have another durian today.
So did you just get to a point where you felt kind of like you're swollen and you're like, okay, maybe I best stop? Or did you also get to a place where you actually were like, I love durian, but I don't desire it more? Or did you still desire it and your body said, come on, like, stop listening to your tongue. It's time to listen to your body?
I love that question. Thank you for that question. It actually, I allowed, so after that was like, I was 8 years on fruits last year. Mm-hmm. So that gave me that awareness and consciousness of knowing my body even more than I used to. Mm-hmm. And I was so tapped into my body rhythm and I was listening to my body the most. So my body said, "No, what are you doing? You're overeating on durian. That's more than enough." Yeah. And I got to the point where I couldn't have durian for a year almost. And
I understand how that is. Did it get actually to a point sometimes if you, in that year that you didn't have durian, if you thought about durian, you felt a little bit kind of queasy or a little bit kind of like, no, I don't want that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people were eating it around me. And I was like, I have it. I don't want it. And they're like, Magdalena, you're not a durian lover like I am. I'm like, what are you talking about? I freaking am. Yeah. I am too much. That's why I love it so much. That's why I'm like defending myself now.
You shut your mouth. You don't even know I'm the durian queen. I could see it. I tell you, I've done that on the island, not though with durian, but with another delicious fruit that was, for me, first tried there. I will give you some hints and we'll play a game to see if you know what food it is. It is the highest carbohydrate fruit on the planet. It grows out there. Some people use it in maybe cheesecake recipes. I'll keep on giving you hints. It's yellow. It is known by a few names, but one of them starts with a C. But on the island, it is known as, starts with an E. And it has two names to it, and one of the names is something that we would not eat as vegans. That should get you. And it's super sweet and very dense, almost cakey.
Is it an egg fruit?
You got it. Egg fruit. Of course, we wouldn't eat it as vegans, but egg fruit. It's also known as canistel. It is so damn sweet. You've had it.
Of course.
Of course.
My friend, I need to tell you the story. Can I?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But that story is a little, maybe some people will leave their life then, but that's okay. That's all about the truth. So I am all about fruity truth and a fruity, juicy fruit, right? So when I had an egg fruit, that was like my first egg fruit I got a few years ago. I had that egg fruit and I had a first bite and it was fine. I felt amazing. Second bite, it feels like a cheesecake, custard, cheese and lemon cake together. Amazing, amazing. It was melting in my mouth. And then I ate the third egg fruit and I got burps, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
And all night long, I was throwing up that egg fruit that I ate.
Gross.
All night. And I was so sick. The amount of egg fruit I threw up, that was more than I ate. I don't know how.
It was like the fish being multiplied by Jesus. It was like that your stomach multiplied the egg fruit and just kept on going. It thought you were trying to feed the multitudes.
Yeah, I just ate 3 of you. How's that happening that I'm like still throwing up? Like it looks like I ate 100 of them.
Yeah.
And that was bile probably. Lots of
bile.
Yellow stuff. Guys, so much starch. So fruit can be starchy, too starchy as well.
Yeah.
Do you know mountain apple?
Oh yeah, I've had a bunch of those. They're good.
Yes, so
they can be.
And they're starchy too, right? They have that starchy. They do have that aftertaste as well, and it's a little bit more like a sap. That it's like sticky.
Like a latexy sap, like a white kind of latex.
And I'm like, I'm not really into fruit like this. I need to tell you, I spent one full day in a jungle. Once that was last year, February, something like that. I went in a night. I was in a jungle and wild, walking barefoot and being in a wildness, eating wild fruit from the jungle from Twin Falls area here. And I had the most amazing sapote from the tree, like a black sapote, like they were meme sapote.
Yeah.
Champadag, there was champadag, there was jackfruit, there was durian, and some berries. So I was eating all of that, and I need to tell you, I got so sick on the next day.
Just
Again,
overloaded the sweet. Overloaded the sweet.
and I was again throwing up.
Yeah.
All this stuff, like I think that was the purest fruit I ever had.
Were you hydrated? Like were you drinking water beforehand?
Beforehand, you know, so I believe more like in hydration with the fruit. So
Yeah.
I drink more like fruit juices all the time rather than water.
Yeah.
When you are consuming fruit, you don't desire much water at all. So what I didn't have much juicy fruit on that day. That I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was again having the same detox symptoms, and I started hating sapote. I can't stand sapote till now, and even like I can't have a soursop. Same thing, same reaction. I just smell soursop. Yeah.
Can I share something that I've learned around that for me has helped a lot? And I'll tell two stories first.
Yeah.
With the egg fruit, I found it in Big Island, it was Maui with my family. First time I'd ever tried it, and I loved it. But I agreed it was so damn sweet. It was like, oh my gosh, this is insane, right?
Yeah.
And when we were leaving Hawaii, I had like 4 or 5 of them, and I wanted to bring them on the plane and take them back to California when I was going back to California. And they said I couldn't bring them on the plane, and my flight was leaving really soon. So kind of like you, I like had 3 or 4, and I just ate them pretty quick. And all of a sudden I just felt so gross. And I actually don't remember if I puked, but I know I felt really like puking. And this was like a decade ago, and I still don't really desire them. And for many years, even thinking about them would make me want to puke. And it's funny, I don't know, of course you know Ann Osborne and Cappy Osborne. Yeah, and Cappy I know well, and we talked and we did a video on my channel too called the Canistel Curse, because he had the same thing happen, where just overdoing the Canistel makes you feel ill. And what I've learned, and it's a bit of a different perspective, but it resonates with me, is that fruit, of course, is hydrating, but sugar requires a certain amount of water to metabolize in the body. And dependent upon the water content of the fruit, some of them can be so sweet that our body can't really handle it. It's too high sugar for the hydration. And so unless we are really well hydrated before eating those foods, it can cause us to feel like completely crazy and sometimes get either like melon belly or upset stomach. And what I had been taught was that 1 gram of sugar requires 7 grams of water to be efficiently metabolized in the body. And certain foods like watermelon and oranges, they're pretty even, so they keep your hydration really, really high. But then the other fruits, say like banana or canistel or mamey or any of those, because they're so dang high in water content, either you want to make sure you've been eating a lot of juicy stuff to really hydrate, and you know, like coconut waters and cucumbers and stuff like that, or drink water before, right?
Yes.
That's what I've found anyway, because like, I mean, if you're feeling dehydrated and you eat bananas, of course you feel more dehydrated, right? But if you eat something that's way more water rich, then you're gonna feel, you know, more balanced out.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's totally. See, and you have the same experience. And someone is commenting on that, what you were saying, and how long has she been raw, because throwing up could be detox. This is actually very like 10 years, and someone said, oh, I don't know what point she had those. Okay, so here's the thing. You being fully, like, I've been raw for most of my life. By the way, raw vegan. I was raw since I was a little girl. I also been fruitarian where I was a little girl without knowing it.
Just naturally drawn right into mother's embrace, eh?
Yeah, just like following my intuition. And I didn't know what I'm doing back then, but I was following it. And actually I talk a lot about the whole of my growth process on my course for Dr. Morse's International School for Healing Hearts and Sciences. Nice. And yeah, I shared like all the story there. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like a bomb and I was stoked to, and an honor to share that story there. And I'm like, Wow, that has to. So I started also writing a book. I think it will take me a few years to write this book to finish.
Isn't that beautiful to have the patience and the foresight to be like, I'm going to create this over the next few years, right? That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And so that's gonna take me a while. I don't write daily, unfortunately, only when I have a time. But every time I have an idea or like clearness in my mind, yeah, boom, there is some content going. But so I've been raw most of my life and fruitarian, like a real, like 100% non-stop. Non-stop. It's been almost a decade. It was 9 years. So I feel that if I have symptoms of throwing up, like you had symptoms of throwing up, we are on a different journeys as well, right? Our bodies are have a different experiences, but we still experience that.
Yeah.
So I believe that my body, I got eating fruits, wild fruits, is the most potent, hydrating, and the most electromagnetic field you can ever receive from Mother's Earth, because it comes from the tree. It's like it's the most
still breathing, still connected, still exchanging with the tree and the soil and the sun.
Yeah. And I can have the same fruit from the store and not having this reaction.
Yeah.
So that was the purest form that I've got, and I opened the deeper layer of detox. That's why some people, when they detox too much, sometimes you can overdo it, so that you want to be careful with things. You want to know when to stop. You want to know when to step back.
Yeah, how to slow down if you need to, and how to make it easier on yourself, whether it's a little bit more fat or whatever it might be.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm curious, do you eat fruit veggies like cucumbers or tomatoes or zucchini anymore, or in the last 9 years, or is it strictly sweet fruit, or what is your day-to-day like?
No, I actually, so to me, the tomato is a fruit. I don't even consider it as a veggie fruit. Zucchini is a fruit, and they call it in Hawaii zucchini fruit, as a fruit. And cucumbers are amazing.
Absolutely.
They're
like water sticks, right? Basically like water sticks.
Yeah,
I love cucumbers.
Or cucumber juice, guys.
So good.
Just get your dama juice, and just like I love using now because it squeezes all of it. It's fast. Boom, boom, boom. All the cucumbers juice. You know, you leave it and it's going, and then you're having pure juice. Amazing stuff. So I just juice it that way. If I don't have access to melons or good oranges or coconuts, by the way, I have 30 coconuts in my trunk right now.
When I'm in the tropics, that's one of my first things, is to stock up on coconuts and have a big stash. That's the good base level, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it's in my passenger seat actually this time. So it looks funny because
Aloha. I have to ask, because it was something I experienced out there, and I don't know if you very fully abstain from stuff like this, but have you tried sea purslane, or have you ever been attracted to try it, or do you know anyone who does utilize sea purslane from the island? Because I picked a whole bunch in Maui, and it's it's like a succulent wild edible on the side of the ocean. Have you had them before?
Yeah, they're yellow. Yeah, you talk about the yellow ones?
No, they're green, and they look like little kind of leafy kind of green things that they taste like olives, but they're just like a really high omega-3 succulent wild edible.
I think I know what color they are.
They're green, and they're kind of on like a windy stem, and it grows kind of along the sand near the beaches, and sometimes in the volcano rock.
Oh no, yeah. So, but you tried the one by the beach?
Yeah.
I believe they spray them.
I hope not in the place I did, but I know I've had really good unsprayed ones in Sri Lanka. But if I did get some sprayed ones there, then I didn't know at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. So that's why maybe you experience high.
Yeah, no. They're crazy salty though, but I mean, they're right by the ocean, of course.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Wow, no, I've never tried them before. I would love to. So see, I am into herbs. I consume herbs. I do
Yeah.
herbs.
Yeah.
I as a detox specialist, I put myself on detox. So it's not like I'm eating fruits only.
Yeah.
I detox my body as well regularly.
Yeah.
But I got to the point where I haven't detoxed for over a year now. I took a break because I was after a really serious ski accident.
Ah.
Uh, yeah, 4 surgeries and 3 of them weren't done correctly. So I
Oh
had
no.
4 times under anesthesia
Ah.
with a short period of time. That was horrible. Yeah.
I know how that is. It sounds like we're kindred spirits in that, in this sweet, fruity lifestyle, but also recovering from major, major injuries and surgeries and anesthesia.
You did that too?
Yeah, 4.5 years ago, I was in a near-death motorcycle accident and had to relearn how to walk and like do everything and rehab and yeah, had multiple. I have
Wow.
another surgery actually in 1 month, and so yeah, and also cat bite, which I had to do like anesthesia and like surgery on my hand 3 times in the last couple of years. So the last like 5 years, I've had way more anesthesia and surgeries than in the last 40 years of my life.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow, see? Yeah, shake hands. We can shake hands. Yeah,
And
it's
knock on
crazy.
wood that we're
And
through
knock
the
on wood.
toughest of it.
No, no, we already went through the worst.
Yeah,
That's
we've
that's
already
not.
went through the worst.
Yeah, yeah. So that we are good. We are good to go to the rest of our 150. You know,
Exactly. At least that I'm my goal is at least 140. That's what I'm reaching for.
reaching. I
Yeah.
151.
All right.
I can't be lonely on this planet.
No, yeah. Well,
I
I'll
have
try my best. But
have
if you get to be
company.
151, you might get 20 years extra on me. Nah, almost. I'm a little bit older than you, so by the time I'm 140, you'll only be like
How old are you, Chris?
42.
You're 42, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
Thank you. That was a very kind reaction. I never get
What?
ID'd anymore, and I'm just like, people just look at me and say, "Hey, get out of
No,
here, old man," all the time.
no, you look
I'm
like
just
you're
joking.
yeah, yeah, no, no, you don't joke. That was my interaction was the best. I'm just
It was.
no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you look like you're near, you're like I thought you were like 29, 30, something like
Oh,
that. Yeah.
this, just like you said, like I'm also excited to get older. I think this is one of the only like lifestyle slash professions, if you call it a profession, where like I'm genuinely excited to get older because then I think people might take me even a little bit more seriously when they're like, "Oh, you've been doing this for like 3 decades and you're 50, but you look like 25, 30, like as opposed to they think, just some young punk that likes fruit, like he'll get over it eventually and like, diabetes will come. I'm so right.
Chris, I would like to come back to the surgery because what you were
Yes.
saying about anastasias
Yeah.
and diabetes, I actually had an bad issue with my pancreas. I got really serious issues after these anastasias. Uh, with my pancreas, I got really hurt. I couldn't digest any food. I was throwing up a lot. I was so weak in my digestive system.
Oh, man.
It was horrible. I had a lot of issues with my pancreas and I had to heal it. So I did detox. I detoxed on a full protocol, iridology reading protocols, and fruits, 100% fruit, juicy fruit, no starchy fruit for a year.
Yeah.
And boom, boom, boom. And I healed that. I healed the worst where they wanted to scan me. They wanted to send me on biopsy. And we're going to just check it. We're going to take a little bit of something. No, I'm not doing it. It's all good. I'm going to just keep it going. So I didn't even want to dive into what it is because I knew they can call it cancer or they can call it anything. Yeah. And I would be terrified even more. So I prefer to not to know anything. I'm just going to heal it naturally. Because I don't believe in any of named disease. So I believe my body can heal itself. So
health's our natural state, right? That's what our body is designed to be thriving. So
and I did that and I felt amazing. But when you were saying, so I have no more digestive issues, no more pancreas pain. no more swelling in my pancreas. And that was back 2017 when all that happened.
Yeah.
And I need to tell you, when you were saying about you had to learn how to walk again, how crazy experience is that they have that you're adult and you forget how to walk.
Yeah.
Because I was on a wheelchair for 9 months, and I they wanted me to keep on be on this wheelchair, but I was so stubborn, and I started to like doing.
I'm getting up.
I was just like using crutches, and I hurt my back badly because I was walking without crutches. I was actually supporting my body on the tippy toes. I was just like, that's how I was walking, like a Flintstone, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
With
like you're wearing
leg.
high heels, but without high heels. Like a Barbie doll.
Yeah. And I was like, so I was like, when I was wearing gowns, like long dresses, you would never tell that I had surgery. But when I was like wearing short dresses, I was just like embarrassed that my leg is just bended, and I felt like, you know, really weak at that point. But not something that never broke me was never give up. Yeah. You're gonna walk, you're gonna dance, you're gonna run. Yeah. I remember my first step, and I have recorded that at Stanford. They did the whole footage for me because they were amazed how fast I healed after each surgery. They're like, we don't know if you're gonna walk fast after the surgery because your kneecap is drip. That was actually my kneecap was going down. So the position of my kneecap has changed back then. It's changed completely. It was dropped like down.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean by this? You may not be able to bend your leg fully. I'm like, hell no, I'm gonna be able to. And they're like, like, reality. Yeah. Okay, reality. Yeah. You may not be able. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't agree. I will be able. Yeah. So I did that.
And that's why you healed.
Yes.
That's why.
And I did exercises. I was pushing this kneecap guys fully up exercises. I was like talking to the Stanford doctors, the best in like America, to be honest, like the best hospital in America if it comes to the surgeries, knee surgeries like that. They actually called me that they wanted to help me by themselves to fix my knee because the other hospital messed up my leg, you know, so they couldn't fix it. And they're like, okay, we're gonna reach out to Stanford. That's the only actually help we can give you. And if they want, we don't know if they're gonna take you because Stanford is a big hospital. They only help NBA players and famous people and stuff like that. So you don't know. Yeah.
Money, power.
Yeah. And guess what? They offered me help. They're like, no, I want to fix that girl. This is ridiculous what she has done in this knee. Yeah. And we want her to walk again. And there was a beautiful doctor, amazing. See, so it's not like I don't believe in things. I trust right people.
Accidents. That's I think, like, you know, like doctors generally are good for accident repair. You know, they have their time and place, you know, in some emergency situations, but not for health and healing. Yeah. You know?
Yes. And they're good with the diagnosis.
Yes.
So that's for sure. Yeah. Amazing people. Yeah. So this doctor took me and he is like, Magdalena, I'm going to fix your leg, okay? But there are some things we may not be able to fix and we need to see how it goes. I'm like, I'm on fruits. I will be fine. Okay, I'm gonna give you Oxycontin, Hydrocodone. No, I don't want it. Yeah. That's gonna be painful because we're gonna be doing a lot of things manually with your leg. No, I don't need it.
I'm good. Yeah.
I'm good. And I was high on pain. Yeah. I was taking all the pain here. I didn't even take any CBD at that point. I was so like determined, and I wanted to feel the pain because I was just like, no, I feel I'm alive. I'm gonna heal this leg, you know. Crazy stuff. That's how fruitarian lifestyle helped me to be so strong and determined to achieve the goal. Yeah. So my full-time job back then was healing my knee every day.
I know how that is, I tell you. I know how that is, and it's a testament, though, not only to the raw food lifestyle, but also to your determination, your drive, and your clear focus on seeing yourself better, right? And like, because I can relate. It's like, no, this is what I'm doing, and I'm gonna make it happen. You know, like I'm gonna do everything I can, and I'm gonna be in alignment with that reality and create that myself. You know, and
Yeah. So did they put you in the anti-gravity machine?
I never was in any of that kind of stuff. I just really got I got a titanium rod through my tibia, or no, fibula, and then a titanium plate on the fibula, and yeah,
Wow.
so I didn't get any of that. That sounds like you got next level of treatment.
But did you, so are you still having them?
I still have the rod in the this bone, but the fibula, the side one, the smaller one, it just has a plate. And on the 6th, or no, the 8th of next month, I'm getting that one taken out. So
Oh, you're going on another surgery.
yeah, 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 because it still bothers me a little bit. And Camilla, she was in the accident with me as well. And she had pretty much the same thing, but she got that plate taken out, and she said it's helped her ankle mobility and
Okay.
swelling and way less pain. And I mean, I still want to skateboard and jump down buildings, right? And I'm still trying, but
You
it's going
are
to feel a lot
so,
better
oh
without having
my
that.
God.
But I tell
You,
you, you know, because you're mentioning how like healing and, you know, like just the power of simplicity and fruit living, you know, like
ah,
I've broken
yeah.
this wrist 4 times. I've fractured my back. I've ripped the entire ligaments out of my knee, motorcycle accident, broken ribs, a couple of concussions. All of this not to show how silly and completely silly I am, but instead to share the exact same
Wow.
thing. You know, like I've had some accidents that were like very similar before raw food and then after raw food, and noticed that it heals way faster, usually in between like 1/2 and 2/3 of the time that it normally does.
Yeah.
And my rehab doctors, as well as my chiropractor, has seen the same thing, and they're like you heal way better. Like if every client could be like you, we'd be like the happiest rehab doctors in the world. And it's just like one healing story I want to share, because it's just like it's so awesome to hear these miraculous stories, right? And so people feel more empowered by this lifestyle, right? And
Yes.
so 12, so time is so funny, right? But it was around a decade ago, somewhere around there, maybe 10, 11, 12 years ago, I fractured my back skateboarding. And at the time, I didn't know that I fractured my back. And I just thought I really hurt it because I've hurt myself a lot, right? And so being a little bit of a not wanting to take painkillers, but it hurting really bad, I self-medicated at that time with marijuana and with fruit. I just ate fruit and smoked weed. And
Yeah. You got the
natural
best
painkiller.
energy.
Yeah, just natural painkiller. But I was hunched over and hurting, and it took a long time for it to feel better. And I found a chiropractor on the island, but not your island, the island of Vancouver, Victoria Island. And that chiropractor did x-rays of me, and he's like, did you know you fractured your back? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, like, and he showed me my L4 was crushed. Like it's supposed to be like this, but it was crushed like this. And he put me back in place, and I felt like finally good, because it had been like actually I think it had been like 8 months since I did it when I first went to him as a chiropractor, and it was just always hurting, and it just felt like there was a pin in my back, and like really sucked, and I couldn't skateboard as well, and
You
I was
must have
trying,
a
but I couldn't
really
as well.
good chiropractor.
He was an awesome chiropractor, and
It's
he put me
very
back in
rare.
place. It
Yeah.
is exact, and it's crazy because I've seen about 20, 25 chiropractors. He was the first that like actually put me in place properly. But then
Wow.
I left the island, and 2 days later, it was back out, and then I couldn't find another chiropractor, and for about 4 years, I couldn't find a chiropractor that could actually help me and put it back. And that was when I went to about 20 chiropractors over those 4 years. And finally, I found a good one. And he was able to get me back in place and good. And he requested that guy's x-rays and got new x-rays. And the new x-rays showed that my bone grew back to normal. And he was like, I've
Woo!
never seen this or heard of this in my career. And he was the same chiropractor that when I got in the motorcycle accident, I couldn't leave my house. So he came to my house and like adjusted me at home, and was just like, if anyone's going to heal from this and get back to normal, it's you. And then I've shown him like me skateboarding and jumping off like steps and rails and stuff since the accident. And, you know, it's just it's amazing what you can
beautiful.
heal from when you have a lot of vitality and you give your body
Yes.
what it requires, and when you believe it, right? When you really believe it and you
Yes.
do
And
whatever it
feel
takes.
it. And feel
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully.
And energy, right? Like chakras and energy healing. I'm into Reiki and chakras. And so I consciously put energy into those areas and consciously put blood flow and healing energy into those areas. And it's amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. That's
Oh.
so beautiful. It feels so connected to me. It does. When you were saying your story, I already saw my story at the same time written.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We have many parallels here.
oh my goodness. I'm like, you know, when I was at Stanford Healing, my doctor told me, Magdalena, you know that, do you see all these NBA players there? They're like, you know, they're trying to get better after surgeries. Yeah. They can't get on both legs again as you are, as you're doing it, and you did it on the next day after the fourth surgery. You're walking.
Wow.
Girl,
that's quick. Yeah.
That? I don't know what you're doing. Just keep doing it. Show them. Teach them what you're doing. And I started to work with these guys there as well.
Did some of them take it on?
And yeah, they took advice. I'm like, you know, this is what I've been doing. Try it, you know, see how it works. Yeah. And I need to tell you, and then I started working with Stanford athletes. So, you know, it was just super cool experience to see that you can be an inspiration, just like me, little me, you know. And it's just like, I mean, like, I am a 5'9", by the way, so not little, not too little me, but
yeah, you're not mini. You're not mini coconut girl. You're coconut.
No. No, I'm not mini. I'm tall, a raw coconut girl, so like a palm tree. So so they were like, show them what you do, show them. So yes, I gave them advice, and I need to tell you, they didn't know what I do. Just they were like inspired, and the doctor was like, wow, this is just mind blown. Even when I got hurt, I didn't bleed. Wow. I stopped bleeding, guys. Like, even if I cut myself, I don't bleed. It takes a few minutes before any blood comes out. Good clotting factor. Yeah.
That wasn't when you were eating a lot of durian, though, and that blood was really thin or really thick, was it?
I don't know about that one, but I think I had actually a pretty that actually caused too much stress on my ovaries, because it was like overeating on fats. You know, like fatty fruit. Yeah. But and sulfury. But also, you know, the regeneration, when you were saying that your fracture actually fixed itself. Yeah. I work with people on the wheelchairs as well, and in their wheelchairs. And I need to tell you that I work also with I had a beautiful example of two kids. They were in the wheelchairs. They were hurt due to vaccination. In their early age, where they were born, they got through all the the stuff that they needed to take when they were born, and they were fully born as very healthy kids, right? Both of these guys from different families, totally different families from Poland, and they were hurt, and one of them was in a wheelchair, and he is like he was 12 years old when they got to me, and he was still in a wheelchair, paralyzed, you know, looking like a really vegetable. It's sad to say, but the arms, the whole he was all twisted. Like his all bones were like different directions, you know. The posture was not the way it should be. Everything was opposite about his body, and he was just like this all the time. So I'm like, hey, let's try to maybe incorporate fruits. Let's try doing this. Let's try doing this. So we started doing that. I put him on a really strong herbal protocol, and we started working with herbs and fruits. And Mom did a great job, because actually what was happening, the alkaline energy was hydrating the body on a cellular level. And 6 months later, this little human is going to his chiropractor again. office, and you know, he's checking on him, and he's like, is it the same baby? Is it the same kid? What the heck? I've been working on these little ones for 12 years, and what is happening here? And she's
like unwinding.
He stopped having these hands like this, you know, like from different directions. It just started being harmonized, balanced, and they just come down, and the bones started to straighten up. Like everything started to coming back in the place where they should be, and the way it started being designed the way it should be, like he was born. And she was like amazed that the whole structure of the bones is coming back to the same place where it was. His legs, his nervous system calmed down. She said, like, oh my gosh, this little dude will be able to walk. If he will be doing this progress like this, he will be able to walk. And guess what? He is freaking walking.
No way.
Yeah, I have
That's
videos.
awesome.
They were like, that was like 2 years ago, or last year. They sent me a video where he is like touching just the rail, like walking just like by the ocean, and just like grabbing the rail, was standing and just like walking still with support, with some support, but he's walking, guys. And he was in a wheelchair, and he was like fully conscious what's happening, but not being able to use his body for 12 years.
Wow.
It was crazy. Beautiful story.
It's like, it's so crazy because I never ever will ever get tired of hearing amazing healing stories. And at the same time, I'm not amazed anymore because I've seen so many freaking things like that, you know, like not necessarily exactly like that by any means, you know, but but the power of, you know, natural living and a fruit-based diet, and, you know, like all of these things, it's just, you know, like we kind of went into before, like the natural predilection of every cell, every living being is health, is vitality, is rising itself up. It's just the conditions need to be met. And, you know, it's just, it's amazing, but predictable at the same time once you've seen it so many times, right? It's just like, I mean, of course, not every single thing ever can be healed. There can be some stuff that can happen, right? But for the same time, it's like the greatest chance ever to reach the highest level of vitality that you can experience can occur through a holistic, really fruit-heavy or fruit lifestyle, right? It's just amazing.
Yes. And, you know, it's seeing this little boy, that his body aligned, and it's just like seeing the progress, and seeing mom, that the parent engagement of the parents. His parents were very engaged into the process. No, we are pushing fruits, and guess what? He couldn't chew either because he didn't have that ability. So
smoothies and soft fruits.
And that's how they're feeding. I'm like, okay, how about tinctures? Just get them with the fruit. That's how I would do it. With the fruit, boom, boom, boom. And he had the best just like experience, and you could see this little boy happy. And, you know, he couldn't talk. He couldn't talk for at all. 12 years, little boy. I mean, almost a teenager. Now it's like 14 years old. Or even more than that. I don't even know. You need to ask how old Camel is. But he basically started to talk. And the first word he said was on my live chat. I was doing it. I have like a Polish support group. And that is Dr. Morse in Polish. And I was having a webinar there. 2 hours webinar with people. And people asked me questions. And there was mom with this little boy back then. And she's like, Magdalena, you won't believe. I'm like, what happened? She's like, he just said his first words. I'm like, what? He never said a full sentence ever. And I'm like, what was the sentence? Lena is talking on a webinar from Hawaii.
No way. No way.
I'm like, you kidding me? That he was
Wow.
that was his first sentence. That was about me.
Wow.
It's just like, and I have that recorded. Like literally, it's on one of my videos, these webinars, when she's saying that, and I'm like stoked. I'm like, oh
Wow.
my gosh, you kidding me? It's happening when I'm like speaking. What a miracle!
You're obviously his angel, right? You're angel.
Thank you. You're so sweet. But I think also that you are your own angel as well. You look at how beautifully you healed and found the truth that the raw living food and fruits can help you to support you oh my. There is one more story very quick. After my surgery, they found that I have torn tendon in my foot.
Yeah.
So there was one more. I'm like, and they wanted to put me, under anesthesia
again and
surgery.
Stitch you up for it, or reattach it, or what?
Yeah, and they said I have to have a surgery.
Yeah.
I have to. It won't heal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna be going through the pain. I couldn't walk. I was hurtful. I was limping again on my foot for a few months. And I'm like, great. So what I was doing, I was taping my toes, guys, together, because I was showing my foot. That was like here.
Hey, this isn't that kind of show.
And once I taped these two,
yeah,
it stopped hurting.
Yeah.
So I figured how to help myself with the pain and walking. So I taped them with the band, and I was wearing them for a year. Like I created myself a brace kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was exercising my toes, my foot. I was talking to it. I was eating fruits. I was massaging it. I was like, you are regrowing it. You're regrowing it. They're laughing at my foot.
It is fun. And laughing is good.
Yes. And guess what? I'm coming back to this doctor a few months later. And he's like,
hey.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this other toe?
What's going on here in this picture? What? Is that the same foot?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. What's going on there? Your tendon is connecting.
Wow. That's huge.
I'm like,
that's huge. Things that people don't think is possible can happen.
Because they have all the research, all the proofs on people that eat and consume heavy meals like based on meat and dairy. They don't have people that like us, raw vegans, fruitarians, that we can regenerate our tissues on a certain level. Like Dr. Morse is showing in his beautiful videos that people can regrow their body parts if they lose them. And I always like to say, if the cockroach can regrow their head and body parts, why can't we?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've been told the exact same thing, that we have the physiology to be able to, like, we lost a finger, to actually grow it back.
Yes.
It's just that realistically, nobody has the vitality for the body to put the energy into that, because dealing with so much other crap. But if we can get to a place where we're incredibly clean. I'm not going to say, well, guaranteed, chop off your finger and you'll grow back. But there's I know someone who did that. That's a bad story. Literally for a dare, he cut off his own finger, and he got it sewn back on. Drunk dare, really silly. But anyways,
was that about the story that you're sharing? He was referring to the story that you're sharing.
Sorry.
He was referring to the story that you were sharing.
No, it didn't come from me whatsoever. No, not at all. It was totally separate. But if there was ever any lifestyle where we could reach that peak of vitality to be able to do it, it'd definitely be like a fruit-centric diet. Like this lifestyle provides the absolute most vitality and requires the absolute least for our body to be able to process and do all that other stuff, right? So it's like such a high vitality diet, so it makes so much sense where you're able to grow those back. And I was able to regrow my backbone, which my doctor had never seen, and it's crazy, but it makes sense, right?
It does make sense, and I believe we've seen people regrowing their organs, you know, like
Wow.
thyroid. Let's say if they leave a little bit of their root in the body that has, like in a tree, right, like a plant. If you have a
Yes.
little seed left there,
Yeah.
you
It can
have
regrow.
ability to regrow certain. I lost my tonsils. I have no tonsils. They cut it out, of course, so
Yeah.
I don't have them, and I'm still feeling them. They're still there energetically. I feel them there, even though they're not there physically, but I still know they're there. So I believe I can regrow. If they left me anything, I don't know if they did, but we'll see within the years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I just feel so blessed by this lifestyle. You know, like it seems to me like you, when I found it, I was just almost struck by lightning. Just like, this is it. This is amazing. You know, like something to share, something to grow with. And it's just so awesome to be a part of this bundle. And I'm so happy that you're with us on it, and that you contributed your book and spreading your sweetness all over the place. It's awesome to see you doing it.
Yeah, I have so much joy. I had the most beautiful farmers market, my first farmers market yesterday.
No way.
That it was, yeah, I was selling my products there, expanding.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was fun. So much people love raw food.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Do you want to share a little bit about one, your book, as well as two, where people can find you and your growing business?
Sure, I would love to. So yes, my ebook is a very highly conscious ebook that brings the most, I think, electromagnetic energy you can ever get on this planet. It's just very aware, and I put so much effort and love, and it's like my diary of from since I was a little girl, basically, because all of my recipes that I was gathering there, you know, like I was just like changing, just experimenting, and I was keeping some recipes like, and I had a spot. Oh, I won't share that with anyone. It's fine. You know, who cares? You know. And then there's one day like this, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually.
Oh,
And oh my God, how
awesome.
worth it that was
That's
to keep
awesome.
it. So
we lit a little fire under you and didn't cook you, but just got some of those recipes to bubble forth and come out into the world.
yes, and you know how beautiful. Thank you. You know how beautiful this is. Like I took my grandma's recipes very often, and I was just transitioning into raw, my version,
Yes.
or detox version,
Yeah.
and I have like a lot of clients here that are detoxing on Maui, and they're just going to get my products in the store because they know they can have it during detox. So it's also like referring to my customers, and like I'm open on the market and no one else is doing it. So people were open. I open to the idea. The door is open. So I'm expanding, doing my best. And it's not easy. It's everyone thinks, oh, it's just that easy.
Yeah.
You know, it was very easy for me, yes, to get to the stores, only because of the energy. I really didn't fight for it. It happened. It's just happened.
Yeah.
But when
and that's all the accumulation of so many choices you've made over the last, you know, over your lifetime, right? To develop that energy and that connection, and to tap in and be able to have all these open doors. And
yes,
it's
yeah. And thank you for sharing. Yes, that's exactly how it is. And you just like kind of drawn, you attract that, and the good karma is coming back. So at you. So it's like inviting you there. So I got on these shelves to one of the biggest stores. That was the first store I ever got to that last year. That was down to earth here on Maui, and the most popular one. And I was demoing my products, and I was like, one lady stopped by, and she's like, "How did you get here? I'm like having business for 10 years, and I can't get here on this shelf, and you're already there." I'm like, embarrassing situation a little bit because I didn't know what to say.
Aloha, aloha.
And I'm like, oh, I'm blessed, I guess, the energy, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
like, your energy's shitty, so you're not here. I'm just joking.
But that's true, because the energy that person had towards me, that wasn't loving.
No, no,
So,
it was
you know,
jealousy and yeah,
I felt that a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, and it's sad to see that, but you know what's beautiful? That I'm not this way. And I'm
yeah,
like able to say other women, hey, you freaking look great. You look sexy today. You know, you
yeah,
look awesome. I love this dress on you. And I noticed that the people that I started interacting with, they're just changing. They're doing the same thing. So it's
yeah,
cool, you know, to see like, I'm like, let's tell each other a nice word instead of like, especially women that are like to be vicious to each other. And it's sad
yeah,
because I've never been vicious to any woman, and seeing things changing, my heart is growing. It's just like,
yeah,
I'm gonna give even more, and
yeah,
expand if possible, you know. So it's not easy to be on the shelf. You have to go through so many guys fight with just like, you know, a lot of things, a lot of loss, and then it's a long process. It's not
yeah,
easy. And
no,
I'm doing it because I believe in food. I believe in this journey, and I have that support from the community. So uh, I'm trying my best to do that. Yeah, and it's not easy. Just want to let you know, because everybody thinks, oh, she lives in Hawaii, she has that beautiful paradise life. Yeah, sure, but it's not easy. It's always
no,
difficult. It's hard to get where I am, but it's hard work. And
absolutely.
that hard work, that, yeah,
But
that is profiting later.
it's those things, right? It's like you choose your hard, you know. It's like obviously there's a lot of hard work to go for it, but it's valuable and it's worth it, and you get all the beautiful benefits out of the life you're creating, right? Like you're a conscious creator, and you've just come to that full realization, like, what can I do? What do I want to do? And you're making it happen. And you know, it's yeah, it is just so wild, because sometimes people say, oh, you're lucky, or you're this or that, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, like I'm just being a conscious creator, making my choices, and people don't see what happens behind the scenes, and all the tough times and the sleepless nights, or the, you know, the challenges, all those kinds of things. And you know, no matter what you choose in this world is going to be hard. Might as well make it hard but amazing, and that's what you're doing, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, how beautifully said that. Thank you so much. And you know, and I see that in your bundle, in your work, when we were talking many times, we were like, oh my gosh, like, hey Chris, what you doing? I don't sleep. I don't sleep either. What you doing? Working on an ebook. Me too. Oh my gosh, it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah.
We're still not sleeping. And it's just like, that's
Well, the good thing is this lifestyle does offer you so much vitality that you're able to squander it. Sometimes you pull
yeah,
yourself thin to be of service, right? And it's like,
yeah.
if I didn't treat myself exceptionally, I couldn't get away with it. And I don't truly think I get away with it, but I can handle it better than the average person.
Yes.
And
You
I know that when time turns, I'm going to give myself an abundance of sleep and total relaxation. But this is go time. This is connection time. This is community time. This is online fruit festival time, right? This is where we're letting ourselves shine, and we're trying to help each other and spread this message, because we know how important it is.
yeah. Yeah, and you put so much effort and love into each detail. Even when you like email me, it's just like boom, 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 or every message, and you can feel that energy, like from you, you know. And that's why it is. I'm like, oh my goodness, someone is like, I feel like drawn, and I'm like, and it's very rare for me. I'm like picky with energies as well.
Oh,
So it's kind of like, no, not like I'm full of myself, not trying to be full of myself, but you need to be a little bit with picking the relationships with people that you
yeah,
want to have around.
yeah, yeah. And I mean,
And the
there's a
energy is
difference with,
like,
go ahead.
you know, just the beauty of the energy that you had, you know. And I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah. And even communication, guys, like with Chris, it's just like, whoa, it's so pure, it's floaty, and it's because we are both on the same just vibration,
Yeah.
you know. And it's just like, yeah, it's easy.
Absolutely. Well, I can definitely reciprocate and say the same thing. You know, it's always been a pleasure in all of our interactions and connections, and it's super fun. This is the first time we've got to really talk this way, and I'm excited for more. It'll be awesome to be able to meet in 3D, whether it's in Hawaii or whether it's somewhere else. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely an honor and pleasure. I
beautiful.
feel the super sweet fruity vibes as well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Durian vibes.
Exactly. Yeah, there's still a little bit of residual durian vibes you got going on. even though you took a time off, you know. I had durian today, and I actually have some durian cookies from raw chef Yin, who's a part of the bundle, in the dehydrator. So I'm going to be sharing a reel on how to make durian cookies from her recipe book, Asian Sweet Treats.
Wow. How dare you?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How,
That's how I do it.
how dare you saying that right now in
Yeah,
front of me?
yeah.
I'm I, I had durian. Was like no. I already had durian after that detox symptoms and all of
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
good.
I
Okay,
had
good.
durian 3 weeks ago, I think, or 4 weeks ago. I had a lot of durian back then, and I started feeling very similar. So I'm just like, no, I just can have one durian a week, and
Yeah.
that's the that's a lot.
Cutting yourself off. Just one a week. Do you want to see? You want to see my durian partner in crime? Because I had durian today, and
Oh,
so did my little girl. She's a durian lover.
she eats durian too? No way.
She's a little bit tired, but I had to make her say hello. But this is Snooter, and she loves durian. On my story on Instagram,
Wow.
there's videos of her eating durian, and she is like, it's her. I think it's her favorite fruit for sure is durian, and then papaya and melon.
Wow, what a kitty. I love her. Oh my goodness.
She is such a sweetheart.
So sweet.
Mm.
Oh my, you're taking such a good care of her. You know, I just one thing about durian, because I know we just focused on one fruit here in Hawaii. I love tons of other fruits too. I don't think I'm like, no, I'm not eating durian only. What's durian? It's the if you ask us what's durian, it's just I think it's just like asking someone what's meat. You know, like someone that eats meat. It's just like the purest and the most vibrant, potent food for people that are not raw.
Mm.
uh,
King of fruits. King of fruits.
king of fruits, and
Yeah.
and I need to tell you,
Praise the durian.
yes. And if you have a lot of sulfur in the body, you may experience some other side effects of eating durian. So if you have a lot of sulfur in the body, your body may not react the way you wanted it to react. You may not like it. So just so you know, that's why not everyone likes durian, because of the intensity of the sulfur that it's present there. So just so you know, to those who think that durian is not tasty or tastes like an onion, it's
Like
all
onions.
because of it's all because of what you have in your GI tract, and your reaction, your response to it. So yeah, durian is amazing, and I had a lot of varieties of it, and we should make a separate video just about talking about durian and varieties of durian. How about that?
That'd be really fun. Yeah, I've been very blessed to have a fair number. I think I've had about at least maybe 12 varieties ish, or maybe 15, something like that.
Oh wow, you're a pro.
Lots of Year of the Durian, and some Miami fruit durian, and some in Malaysia and Hawaii, and where else? A couple other places.
I'm counting mine. I would say I had probably similar. I've never had a Costa Rica or any other country.
I had
like
some in
that.
Costa Rica too.
Oh, you did have?
I did, yeah, but not too much. It was very thin.
I had the Florida one. I had a Maui one. I had a Thailand from Lindsay.
Yeah.
Taiwan. And other ones from here. I had a lot of these varieties, and I have written down the names that I like the most, and I can talk even about that. That would be a cool video, huh? To talk about the flavors that we had and experienced.
I would need to review my my calling cards of them. You know, I have some of the ones from Lindsay as well, and review some videos and stuff like that. But there's probably, I don't know if there's any fruit that has quite as much esteem and intrigue within the fruit community as durian. You know, like people travel the world really for durian and durian hunt, and like it's magic. It is magic. And watermelon lime. A lot of, actually almost every major city I've been to in the world that has like Asian markets, you can find frozen durian. And that's where I find it here in Sweden is one in the Asian markets for frozen, but right now they have fresh as well. And it's kind of like season just starting in Thailand for export. So in a lot of places you can find it, if they will import some of the fresh stuff.
And how much does it cost for you to get it there?
The whole one, it cost too much for me to use it in cookies. I'll say that. But
Okay.
but it wouldn't cost too much for me to have a feast. But these are the early durians, and I'm gonna wait a little bit until it's super peak and the price goes down a teeny bit. But it was about near a 2 kilogram, maybe it was like a 1.5 to 2 kilogram durian, so like not super big, and it was about $50 US. So
What?
not super cheap.
No,
That's pretty
no.
expensive.
Wow.
I
Wow.
could see you almost crying. Like, what? No,
Why are
no.
you doing this to yourself? Where are you? Where are you so far? Where you're in
But
Sweden? What are you doing? No, I'm just
but
kidding.
I'll let you know this though. I'm getting really good quality fruit, like not quite Hawaii quality fruit for all of it, but some of it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting really good quality fruit, and on average, and I'm eating what I want, like great food. And on average, I'm spending about like 250 to 300 American dollars a month. So I'm getting really good deals here. And like I've had like 4 cherimoya seasons last year, and I don't know if you like cherimoya, but cherimoya is one of my favorites. Like I almost
I
put it like
I
durian
have
and
a friend
cherimoya, they
that
could
has a
make out,
yes.
and I'd be happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my friend has like 2 cherimoyas fruit trees, and they're full of fruits, and he's calling me like all the time, Magdalena, are you coming to pick it? I am not
Yeah.
it's not my favorite though.
No? Oh
No,
gosh, I
I
love
would share. I would share.
Uh-oh. Okay, this is a crazy one. Cherimoya or biraba or Rolinia, if you know that name instead.
Rolania. I
See,
like
I'm a
Rolania.
cherimoya. I have my friends in Costa Rica, and they love Rolinia. Just for people who don't know, Rolinia is in the same family as cherimoya, but it's more. It basically tastes like lemon meringue pie filling. You know,
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
amazing.
It's
And cherimoya to me is just tastes like candy. And I always joke with him because he always says like Rolinia is the best of the Anonas. It's the best fruit in the world. And I'm like, I would push every Rolinia off the table to get to the cherimoya. You know, 'cause-
and I would push everything off the table to get to my coconut.
coconut's great. Well, that's you're the coconut girl.
Yeah. And I would push everything away too to get to durian. I
Yeah,
would bake, yeah, like, you have no idea.
I do
I, I,
actually. I actually do.
I can bathe in my durian. I can use it as a perfume. I can.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
I,
No, it's amazing. When I was in Bali, I'd be riding around on my scooters, and I'd have 10 durian in between my legs, wearing shorts, on a scooter in like rush hour traffic. I was willing to die for the durian.
oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Yeah, this is so crazy. You're saying that. I'm so the same. Yeah, I mean, I would never drive scooter to do that. I would probably kill myself over and just like carrying the weight
Hmm.
full of durian. Uh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, that's so funny. You're hilarious. It's having all these beautiful guys explosions of flavors in your mouth, and after having that purity of pure simple sugar in your mouth for so many years, when I try something that it's like unnatural, you already know now
Hmm.
this watermelon was like injected with sugar.
Yeah.
Now this, yeah, it's fake. This is GMO. Like, it's so sensitive. The palate, it's so sensitive. Smells are sensitive.
Yeah.
Everything, and so
Absolutely.
the flavors are too. And it's amazing to experience that you can enjoy a little tomato, and
Hmm.
it tastes like a salt to you, and it's like
How good
salty
is tomato?
snacks.
Tomato is one of my favorite foods in the planet sometimes. You know, like when they're great tomatoes, like I could just cry eating tomatoes. They're so good.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are
like
awesome.
cherry tomatoes. Ooh, like cherries.
Yeah. Do you as a fruitarian, do you eat any greens at all or like celery or like any like leaves and stuff like that or not besides herbs?
Yes, So celery used to be considered as an herb. I wouldn't call it an herb anymore because it was hybridized too many times and it was just like lost its strength. But yeah, if I crave, so here's the thing. I'm not like obsessed. Oh, I have to have a fruit. I can't have this because I'm fruitarian. No. And I don't even like to call myself fruitarian. I like to call myself frugivore.
Hey, I wasn't sure if you felt that way, but I feel the exact same way. But I sometimes feel almost bad about it because sometimes, you don't want to say like, hey, I'm not a fruitarian, I'm a frugivore.
Yeah.
To some people,
Because you know why? Because I hate being categorized and put in box, and then people judge you based on a box that you're coming from. So I'm like, oh, she's a she's fruitarian, she's crazy, she must be like hippie and live in a hippie life, which is totally the opposite actually. And so I'm showing here people as how a modern fruitarian should look like. But I'm putting myself in a box only for the social media purposes. That's all.
Okay.
So.
Well, then don't feel sad. I'm gonna put a video out eventually called "Why I'm Not a Fruitarian," but it's gonna talk about some of this kind of stuff and really go into it. So.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's attracts so many people. Why I'm not longer fruitarian.
Yeah. It's fun. It's all fun, and like. I have friends who are like straight fruitarians, like Ann Osborne and stuff like that, but they are a little few and far between to be like strict, right? And not that it is necessarily strict for her. That might just be exactly what she feels totally with, right? But on a funny tip, do you know Tupac?
Yes.
You know his Thug Life tattoo on his stomach? He has a tattoo that says Thug Life, and I always played around about getting a tattoo that says Frug Life, like frugivore life, Frug Life.
And
his like it has a bullet, but mine would have a banana on it instead.
That's so funny.
I probably won't get it really, but
you will be like a duplicate of frugivore, the Tupac frugivore.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It's funny because with all of that, it's just like impressive and beautiful to see that I want you to know that I'm not like crazy fruitarian. I am fully on fruits, and that's gonna be always my priority. But I trust my body. So if my body would tell me, hey, Magdalena, you need some salad tonight, because that's what frugivore does. They eat leafy greens. We have some salads sometimes. And then I go for it. But, I usually force myself nowadays to do that. I do not, I have to ground sometimes. Yeah. Especially when I'm dealing with the governmental stuff right now.
Oh, it's high.
Manufacturing.
Yeah. It's intense energies in the world these days. And I do think that those dense minerals and greens and stuff like that is, it has some qualities of that, right? Like the dense mineralization does calm you down to some degree, right? And I mean, certain lettuces and stuff, they actually do have some compounds in them, some saps, that do actually like calm you down, like milk of the poppy and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I like to juice greens, my greens. My body doesn't like digest leafy greens much unless it's arugula, but it's concerned as a herb again. So it's kind of like, I really am more into like, I am more into like herbs, herbal kingdom rather than green kingdom itself, and to rebuild my teeth, because someone mentioned there that they have teeth issues on the fruit diet and stuff. I always like to bring that to oral health is super important, but it's not only when you even take extra care of your teeth. You may still have weakness because you're detoxing and the acids are coming out of your mouth, and these are weakness. You're reversing the biological clock. So if someone in your family had teeth issues, you have that in the end. You may have that in your DNA as well, and you're getting these health issues because you are rebuilding your generations. You're rebuilding DNA from your generations, your past. You are healing them. You're healing their genes in you. How crazy is that?
I totally believe that too, that yeah, this is an amazing opportunity for us to heal our lineage and to create a new future for ourselves and humanity, you know. And it's
Yeah.
like we have degraded in many ways. I don't know if you're super familiar with Tony Wright's work, Left in the Dark. Have you checked out his stuff? Do you know Tony Wright?
Tony, no.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna like freak out reading this stuff. So check out a book called Left in the Dark by Tony Wright. He's like a brain developmental researcher, and I want to say scientist, but it's like something else. But he's like really deep in the field, and he has written an entire book. Like, it's a science-based book, so it's not super light,
Yeah.
but it's amazing, about our symbiotic relationship with fruit and how fruit has made us who we are, and how when we left the jungles and started cooking our food and eating other stuff, that as a species we've slowly devolved and gotten worse. And it's like, that's like a really small essence of it, but it's like like such high level stuff. Like, you give that to like a what's it called, evolutionary scientist, and it's like on that same level, right? But like, and he's totally about raw food and fruit, and that amazing like positive feedback that happens when we eat fruit, and the connection and our brain synapses and how our brain got big. He proposes that it isn't about, like, people say like, our brain got big because we had fire and we cooked food and we got more calories, you know. And people are like, well, hey, wait a tick, we're getting more calories than ever, how come our brain isn't getting bigger, you know? And he talks instead about how it really is the co-evolution of us when we found fruit and started being able to like you know, like have that symbiotic relationship, because we're eating the sex hormones of plants. Like, we're eating the sex of plants nonstop, and it rewired our brain and caused like an amazing growth in our brain, in intuition, in memory and recall, which then led us to be able to travel and remember, oh, that fruit tree is over there, I'm going to make it over there, right? It's like the animals that are the smartest, are they the smartest because they eat the fruit, or are they eating the fruit because they're the smartest? And that's kind of like this really amazing thing. But that book is mind-blowing, by Tony Wright.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. You brought it up. Yeah. I'm happy. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Yeah. I'm sure there are so many people that have so much to share, because, you know, there were some of us that were following this journey before us, and where we
Absolutely.
never heard about them. Yeah. Never had social media before, you know. So we there's so much uncovered. Like, you know, I feel like there a lot of things are just hidden and undiscovered, and I kind of feel like we are here to just like prioritize it and show the world that, you know, there are people like us, there are people like you mentioned, Tony, and other people that are experiencing all of that. And I'm so happy that that people write books about it. So that's why I actually was motivated by Dr. Robert Morris too. He was like, my God, write a book, write it.
Do it.
Get
your message out there.
I need to, there is something in it. I have to start. You're right. Like, it's just like, I wait for that right moment, and I waited years for that right moment, and it came. So I started like a few months ago. So I was like, we'll see how long it's gonna take.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I feel super blessed that that we're a part of that spark.
Yes.
You know, getting you in there and doing more, and it's amazing, because the world needs more people like us, you know. And the bundle, that's the big aim of that, is one, to inspire people who are already doing this to create and to spread and to share, because we all have so much invaluable information and experience and expertise, and then also to help other people, you know, get a running start, you know, and make it a heck of a lot easier, and to have enough people in here that, like, you know, you can go through the bundle and see who you resonate with, and then grow with that, and then check something else out and grow with that. And it's like, it's just so awesome.
Yes. Yes. And, you know, and anyone who will be on Maui, I'm really inviting to like check out my products like in the store and take them to the mainland. I'm planning on expanding very soon to all over, so in the US too.
Nice.
Hopefully, my plan is big. I know that it's gonna happen sooner or later. It just takes time.
I believe it. I believe it. It's rawcoconutgirl.com. Is that your website?
Yes, it's
Yes.
rawcoconutgirl.com and my Instagram. I am actually the most active on Instagram, and everything that I post on Instagram goes automatically to Facebook. So,
Nice.
yeah. So that's the main thing. I stopped doing YouTube. I'm still having good videos there that are older. I don't know. I would have to stop sleeping to make all of that happen at once.
Well, I'm just going to quickly check here something. Can you believe that it's been almost 2 hours we've been talking?
Oh my gosh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh wow.
Time flies when you're having fruity fun, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to have some durian for lunch now or what?
I haven't had anything yet. I'm dry fasting now, but I'm about to start my day with coconut water, and I'm gonna have maybe like 6 coconuts in the morning, and then I'm gonna start having something to eat, and I actually have to go to the store. I don't have much. I have mangoes. I can start my day with mangoes today, but I like to start with melons.
Yeah.
From melons, that's my favorite breakfast. Because
hard to beat melons for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melons for breakfast.
Yeah.
And then durian, I like to have before bed. So.
To put you to sleep.
Hey, have you ever experienced being high on durian? Like
yes.
I'm always high on durian.
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
We should have one durian feast here, like over video, and show people how high you can get.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we'll be the goofiest ever. You know that.
We could make. I think on these you can get a couple people. We could have a big durian party. I know. There used to be. There is a online raw food dinner group that like everyone would get together and just eat dinner together. That was kind of neat.
No way, really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I mean, I know that Ronnie Smith, who's a part of the bundle as well, and he has a really cool book about the festivals around the world. He has a thing called Fruity Fridays where people get together every Friday night, UK time though, so it would be like I'm not even sure, probably your early morning at like 8 a.m. or something like that. But they have like every Friday they have that gathering, and I think a lot of people eat dinner there together because it's their dinner time. But anyways, no, it'd be fun to have a big durian feast party. That'd be good.
That would be cool. I love that.
Oh, wow. Do you see that? Lori, the gentle homeopath, says we're both inspiring, and while listening, she cracked up her first Thai young coconut in 3 years.
Woo!
Coconut love.
So cool. Oh, is it a girl or is it a man?
No, it's a girl. That's actually Lissa's mom, Lori, the gentle homeopath.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Whoa.
Well, I gotta say, you know what? It's actually almost 1 a.m. here.
Yes.
And I think I have at least 1 or 2 hours worth of work after this. But it's been ridiculously so much a pleasure. Really awesome to connect. Definitely, as I said, kindred spirits. And I'm really blessed that you found the time to do this because I know you're really, really busy and that you made that push and were part of the bundle. I'll admit there was a seed of fear for a minute when I talked about some of the stuff, the requirements, that I was like, oh no, I hope that she still is a part. It'd be so fun to have her, on the bundle. And so I'm so happy that you are. And I just really want to thank you and all you're doing in the world. And you're shining bright, girl. Keep it up. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a pleasure. And I had so much joy. I had a blast.
It was lots of fun.
I'm like even having more energy right now. I can fly.
Yeah. Now it's time to unpack and do a whole bunch of stuff there. Hey, probably. Yeah.
So much stuff to do, but guess what? I'm going to the store first, and I'm gonna find this durian today.
Oh, which one?
Durian.
Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna find this durian today.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Will you enjoy that durian? I'm gonna check on the durian cookies and film the outro for that reel. And aloha.
Aloha. Mahalo.
Aloha.
Peace.
love and seasonal
Thank you
fruit.
for having me.
Of course. Of course.
Mahalo.
Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Thanks so much, everyone. Mahala. Yes, I forgot that one. Hey, mahala.
Thank you
That
for all the beautiful words. Bye.
Bye bye. See you guys. Thanks so much.